Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Oh, what up? What y'all doing? Where y'all at and what y'all doing? It's the homie 360 the poet. We right here. We live and direct on another Wednesday, another hump day edition of Holla at the Homie. That's right. HOLLAATTHAHOMIE. Holla at the homie at gmail.com is how you get your words and all your questions into what's going on, neighbor. You get all your questions and stuff into Holla at the Homie. If you got questions for me, I am your number one. Well, I am your number one online or live and direct advice line, things of that nature. Let me see. I got a little pixelation going on over here on Facebook. We're going to go into my settings real quick and see what that's doing with it. But nah, so you got a little virtual backgrounds because, again, we are at the crib. We're going to try this background for, now it look real pixelated, so let's just go none. There we go. We in this thing like a wedgie, baby. What's going on, Casmay? Always good to see you in the building, my New Orleans gal. That's what I'm talking about. When I get down there to the booth, I'm going to come holler at you. Or if you're out here in Viva Las Vegas, make sure you holler at me, my girl. But today we got a good one. We always talking about some stuff, but I always got to let y'all know and give y'all my number one disclaimer. I am not, or I have not been trained, neither professionally, nor have I ever paid any tuition on learning how to be a professional counselor, not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. And I always let people know, I don't tell you what to do. I just tell you what can be done. Okay. So, we're going to go back to it then. We're going to go back to the bricks. The engineer said the bricks was looking okay. So we're going to go back to the bricks. We got the bricks back there. Okay. So y'all may not see it over here on y'all side, but this green screen be doing all kind of stuff on the back side of things over here on the Facebook and on the app. But again, I've never been trained on how to be a psychologist, psychiatrist, and or a counselor of any sort. But what I have done is I have lived a life full of variety, right? And with that life of variety, I have vicariously lived through others. And that's allowed me to sponge up some game so I can ring it right back out here with y'all and give y'all a little bit of what's going on. So Queen of My Worth, what's going on? Glad to see you in the building. Salute. All those as always tuning in and tapping in and holler at the homie at gmail.com or _360 the poet on Instagram or Will 360 Taylor on Facebook. Y'all know how to do it. Y'all know I'm a man of many names, but one purpose, and that's to give it to you raw and uncut. All right. As always, got to give a shout out to my sponsors, my shirt of the week, shirt of the day. Right here, rocking and rolling for you, brought forth to you live from the homegirl, one of my favorite friends. I call her a sister and a homegirl, but that's shopblingedout.com. Shop blinged out. You know what I mean? Al, I see you texting me, but I can't check my text. It's gonna mess up my stuff. So, hit me on I don't know how you can hit me. Maybe I can check it on my watch. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I don't want to mess up my tune. But shopblingedout.com or Shop Blinged Out on Facebook or on Instagram. And you can get all your apparel. She got some fire ass shoes too, man. If you got a sneaker ball coming up, damn, that's crazy. I mentioned this and there's something to deal with that in the letter today, but nevertheless, I digress. If you got a sneaker ball coming up, or you got a special event where you need some fly ass kicks prepared for, holla at Shop Blinged Out. Shop Blinged Out. Go on there, shopblingedout.com. It's spelled just like it sounds, shop blinged ed out.com. And you like that hat in chat? Yes, sir. That's real. That's real metal up there. Hat heavy as hell too. I'm glad I got a big old head. Only way this hat was gonna stay on there. But yeah, go on shopblingedout.com and get some of those kicks, because the homegirl Mara got it on fire over there. You feel me? So if y'all see me reaching across, I'll make sure I'm waving all my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying throwing the deuce. What's up? What's up to everybody that's tuning in and tapping in with the homie. So we here, y'all. Y'all know where you'll find us at. 7025fm.com, on the app, on your internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and right here with your boy, your main man 360 the Poet. So now we're going, without any further ado, we're going to dive straight into today's letter. Let me see what we got going on today. And as always, I like to thank anybody who takes the time out to send in their letters or emails and stuff like that. I print them out so I can read them, because me trying to go between multiple screens and trying to stay on here and stay live. Yeah, I'm cold at freestyling. I'm one of the coldest freestylers on the planet. Ask anybody who know me. They know me. You dig? So, but some of this stuff, when it comes to freestyling with technology, I ain't trying to fumble the ball. I ain't fumble a lot as a running back. And I ain't trying to fumble as a MC or either. So you dig? So I always print out people's letters. I always give, that's what I'm talking about. M Chat said the coldest. Salute, my brother. I always like to print them out again so I can kind of dissect them, break them down my own ways, and be able to read them properly and give you your just due, because you took out the time to, send me in something to say, hey, I got a question for you, homie. Maybe you got the expertise to answer that for me. You dig? So we're going to go straight into it. It says, hey, homie, so no need to beat around the bush. Let's dive straight in. See, that's the same thing I'm saying, right? A group of us went out to dinner to a really nice, and they put in all caps, really nice place, celebrating a friend who had quit his job to go into business for himself. The night was going along pretty smooth, until one of the guys commented on another one's Air Jordans, which ultimately led down the rabbit hole of who was the GOAT, again in all caps, in basketball. Then what was previously a great roundtable conversation mixed with gratitude and a sprinkle of accolades turned into an all-out debate. Did I mention that we were at a really nice restaurant? I mean, seriously, there was a fire dancer. There was a guitarist walking around the venue, serenading tables. And don't get me started with the table side flambéed tomahawk shaving. Ooh, that sounds good as hell. I think I might have known where they were at. On top of that, we were looking good AF. That was, how that goes. Everybody was going. The flow was nice. The vibe was good. And everybody followed the rules on which followed the rules of the night, which was a classy affair with a sneakers to accentuate your outfit. So if you think about it, from the outside looking in, we were looking like an episode of First Take Love and Hip Hop Edition. That's kind of funny. I don't know where I zoned out, because I looked myself and at everybody around us with such disdain and disgust. I wasn't even involved in the MJ, Kobe, LeBron, and every other player with reputable stats conversation. Yet here I was looking no different than the other patrons inside this amazing establishment. I was embarrassed. I would have gotten up to leave while they were deep in conversation, but I had already opened up my big mouth and told everyone to Zelle and cash at me, and I would put the meal on my credit card. That way is what I thought was my contribution to minimizing any conflict when it came to paying the bill. I wish I could have foreseen this all-out debate debacle. I would have been able to make an old school Baptist church exit while holding up one finger and tiptoeing out slowly. I looked to the host of the party, and he was no help because he was one of the main culprits, speaking at the highest of volumes. Eventually, one of the managers came over and asked us, could we bring down the volume a little bit because other guests were complaining. What did he do that for? That turned into a whole other debate about why we were being the ones singled out and how we paid just as much money as everybody else and how we should be able to enjoy ourselves at the way we wanted to for the night. The night turned into a total nightmare. By the time we left, or shall I say, by the time we were asked to leave, this once classy group of individuals were now looking like an angry mob. Some of us who were not involved in any of the madness had some choice words about the people who embarrassed us after we left the restaurant. Now it seems to them as if we were selling out because we didn't want to get involved in what I considered a melee. What should have been a celebration turned into a civil war amongst friends. So I'm coming to you today, homie, asking you, was I wrong for abstaining from the group and all of that madness? Or how would you have handled this situation if you were in my shoes? Sincerely, I should have just stayed home. Well, I should have stayed home. I like that name because that is a question you can ask thyself. Is should you have stayed your ass at the crib? Because it sounds like that might have been the best thing going for you. You know, I'm not going to lie. Like, again, I never pass judgment because I've never been to law school, so I don't even swing a gavel. You dig? But that is one of those observations that you made that I say it makes 100% sense, 100% good sense. Because if you would have stayed home, you wouldn't have been involved in this BS, right? Let me see what my people say. Okay. Oh, somebody said it's not coming on over IG. They had to hop on Facebook. Oh, hell no. If niggas doing anything else, they're going to argue about sports or argue, period. And Dakari in the buildings. What's up, James Lewis Pitts Jr.? What's up, Al Rich? What's up, Dak Attack? But let me see. Let me tap out of Instagram. But no, it's over here on Instagram. I believe I'm going to tap out and I'm going to come back in. But like I say, this is one of those situations where you could have been avoided all of this by just staying at the crib, right? But you didn't. So now you there. You in the mix. Okay? So you in the mix and everything is going the way it's going. And somebody said, got to know your friends, though. I know who to do certain things with and who to exclude. This is true. That is a valid ass point right there, James L. Pitts II. That is a valid point because you think about it. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna play the game. Guess what ethnicity they were. We're not gonna play that game. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna play that game. Okay. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna discuss. Okay, let's go first of all let's talk about maintaining that class even while in debate, right? Because, anybody who's ever been on a forensics team or a debate team knows you go dressed to the nines. You fresh. You fly, right? But you're going to make a point. Your goal is to go to argue the affirmative or argue against it, So you going looking good in the situation, right? So I'm looking at the attire. It says, everybody follow the rules and the theme of the night. And it was a classy affair with a pair of fly sneakers to accentuate your outfit. So I can just imagine, like I was just talking to y'all earlier about shop blinged out. I can just imagine a bunch of us in some shop blinged out gear, right? Some shop blinged out shoes, but at the same time dressed in tuxedos or, some three pieces or, nice, double breast, jackets or whatever the case may be. But I can imagine being fly as hell and then jumping in a pair of Jimmys, right? A pair of gym shoes. So I'm okay with that. But my thing is you got to maintain your class in all of it. You can't show your ass and consider it class. There's a way to be classy and tell people what's on your mind. But the moment you go to showing your ass, you clearly see the CL right there. You clearly stop being classy. So it appears that these people may have been showing their ass, showing their hind parts. So just pretty much just having a good time. No, you don't want to hate on them. I don't want to hate on anybody for having a good time. Where'd my water go? I don't want to hate on anybody for having a good time. I just want people to understand, like, It's a way of doing things. Right, exactly. Like James said. James said neither is wrong per se, but it's just about you got to know the crowd. Exactly. Know your audience. You got to look, read RTR, read the room. That's number one thing I got to say about anybody that's out in public. You got to read the room, especially when you're amongst the crowd, amongst people who you respect, amongst the people who, you feel are like your peers. Somebody, I think my engineer saying my internet at the crib acting up. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me. I see some pixelization going on, but I got all my bars over here. I ain't got nothing else turned on, I don't think. So we'll figure it out. We're gonna keep it pushing. But yeah, so you got to read the room. Anytime you involved in a debate or a conversation, look around. Because one, you don't want to involve everybody in this debate because everybody ain't worthy. Everybody not worthy to be a part of every conversation that you have. Selective few are, I'm not gonna have this debate. If I'm having this conversation about who the go to basketball is, for one, I'm not having it with people who coming in with just emotions, because their favorite player is such and such. I want people that's gonna come in, give me some stats, give me some facts. Don't be moving the goalposts. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, most people, you're going to move the goalposts because you're going to make it fit your favorite player. Because that's what my friends James and Carlos do. They move the goalposts when they talk about who the best is. And I do it too when I talk about who the best is. But, anyway, you got to read the room before you go into these types of conversations. And first of all, big ups to the homie, whoever it was celebrating leaving a job and entering into entrepreneurship. If you're an entrepreneur out there, big ups to you, hat off to you, for anybody who's working for themselves, because you work extremely hard when it's your name on the building. You work extra hard when your name on the card. Look at me, I'm sounding like Jesse Jackson over here, Al Sharpton. You work extra hard when it's your name on the card. Yeah, you're right. DeJuan do be moving that goalpost, bro. But DeJuan gonna move it to fit whatever word he's saying right at the moment. Big shout out to DeJuan, Anointed Hands Barbershop down there in Nashville. If you need the tightest fade, hey, one thing about it, he gonna talk your ear off, but you gonna get the tightest fade in all of the Nashville metropolitan area. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But if you're in Atlanta, go down and holler at Well Groomed Male and get in my man Al's chair. You're gonna get the tightest fade in all of the Atlanta metropolitan area. Anyway, I need to see a couple of y'all. That's why these hats is down low. Talk amongst people, or talk amongst crowds that are worthy of your debates. What I mean by that is, do the people at the restaurant really need that? Because anytime you get into a debate about something along those lines, especially men, there's going to be a raise in volume because everybody wants their point to get across. It's funny. This person said it sounded like they were on an episode of First Take, Love and Hip Hop Edition. I mean, I can imagine that because they looking good, fly as hell, right? And then they out there talking about the most, we're not even talking about it, but just sounding the most rats, right? And I get it. You get passionate when you're talking about things you love. Okay, but there's a way of handling it. It goes on to talk about how, you said that you were trying to avoid any type of this type of activity or embarrassing activity by telling everybody, look, y'all just Cash App, Zelle me equal amounts and I'll put it on my credit card. So first I need to ask, are you or is anybody else that you were with in the service industry? Now, because if you or anybody else you were with that's in the service industry, there's a way to kind of like bring the fizz down, right? How to put your pinky in the beer type thing, metaphorically, to stop it from overflowing. So now, was it that you were lost in the conversation, or was it that you just didn't want to step on toes? Because it sounds like you may be in the industry because you already had this blueprint together, or you've been out a number of times with people and y'all, everybody talking about, well, I had this, that, and the third, or maybe you trying to flex. I don't know, whatever it is, anywhere in between, or maybe you just feel like, hey, look, I want these airline points. It's a lot of different ways we could have gone about why you said you're going to put it on your credit card. You regretted it later, We see that. We see that you regretted it later. But we also see that, you stepped your toe, put your whole foot in the water saying like, look, y'all send me the money and I'm going to pay for this meal. So you stuck. You gotta. I'm with you too, John. I think it was for the points. Because if that's the case, I'm with it for the points. You dig? I'm with it for the points. If I can take everybody out to dinner and swipe my Amex and get my flight points or, something along them lines, then run that. I'm going to do it that way because I want to be able to enjoy myself again after enjoying myself this time around. You dig? So, y'all gonna send me the money. I can pay it off, But anyway, so I need to know if you, Mr. or Miss, I should have stayed at home. I'm gonna lean more towards this might be a lady. I never try to genderize my, gender place my writers unless they label themselves. But this sounds more like, because it says the guy she was referring to as the guys were looking, where everybody dressed to the nines over here. So I'm going to say this might be a young lady that wrote this letter. So are you in the industry? I need to know that, send me a side message, something along those lines. Let me know if it's something because if that's the case, then there should have been a time within the evening before the manager even came over that you as being a part of the party could have kind of brought it down a little bit, because communication, again, I always say, that leads me to my next point. Was there a time to communicate to anybody in the party prior to this manager making his visit to the table for y'all? Because you looked around and said that you seen like everybody else looking at y'all all crazy. And now you looking at y'all all crazy. So you had a chance to say like, damn, let me double dutch in here and try to jump in here and say, let me bring this down a little bit. Let me diffuse this situation. But did you do it? Nah. Maybe did you not want to? Was it somebody like you were trying to impress in the group, or are you like more mousy? I don't know. I'm not passing any judgment. These are just questions I'm asking because I need to know, if this was an option, why was it not explored? Meaning like, why didn't somebody like any of y'all out the group say, hey, y'all bring it down a little bit, man. These people over here looking at us crazy, which probably would have had somebody in the group in the uproar like, damn people, like them kids, But at the same time, it may have brought a light to the host of the party. Like, yeah, you're right. We supposed to be out here celebrating. We talking, let's talk this other business. Let's talk about who's going to be the GOAT in whatever his particular chosen field is, right? There's opportunities and moments where somebody could have double dutched and jumped in that conversation. Then you said that, because you sound like you got a little knowledge because it said you weren't in the, even though you weren't in the Kobe, MJ, LeBron, and whatever other debatable player with good stats conversation. So all these other players, or you were listening hard enough to hear, because if it's going to talk about the GOAT, there's probably going to be three people at the top of the list, which is MJ, LeBron, and Kobe. MJ, Kobe, LeBron. That's my order. But nevertheless, I digress. But I'm pretty sure it was those main three. And right, M-Chat, my homeboy M-Chat said he think the host made him feel like he think it was fine. Yeah, yeah, James. I'm Petty Pablo, baby, Petty Pablo. I had to throw that in there real quick, man. I had to. But yeah, and the host may have made him think it was okay because it says that they looked towards the host and thinking that they were going to try to diffuse the situation and they were involved at the highest volume. Because, everybody, again, as guys, when we talk about something and we think that our point is that point or what we got to say is the most important or like, anything that deals with some banter back and forth is going to go. It's going to start like this, man. MJ the GOAT. Man, you crazy as hell. Man, don't you talk about it. And it's going to go boom, boom, boom. It's like turning up the volume in the car, right? It's like when you turn in the car and a song come on. You like, boom, okay, that's bumping. It's new. Oh, you want to hear something else? Oh, that's new. Oh, you turn it all the way up. But that's the conversation. It's going to go up and up and up and up. And unless it's somebody on the sideline like, hey, bring it back. We amongst mixed company. Because if it's a fire dancer inside the restaurant, if it's a guitarist serenading tables, I'm pretty sure that y'all volume hit way beyond the level of, you know, comfort for those around you way before the manager came over, because it seems like an intimate type restaurant, you know. And if it's the restaurant I'm thinking that y'all were in, it don't say what city y'all were in, but if y'all were here in this Las Vegas area, I'm pretty sure I know exactly where y'all were, which is a very nice restaurant. I'm not gonna pub them up because they not. Then again, I may pub them, but then again, I may not. They're gonna give me a gift card, then that's something different. Sponsorships available. Send them to me. holla@thehomie@gmail.com. But y'all got people flambéed tomahawk shavings going on table side, then I'm pretty sure that the tables are intimate. And if y'all in a larger group, then y'all probably either were or weren't in a private room or in a table somewhere further off. Then you might have gotten a little bit out of control, out of sorts, and somebody should have been and said something to y'all amongst the group. So that's where my question is with you, Mr. or Miss. I should have stayed at home. Who was that person, and why was it not you? Because it seems like if you're the person writing, then you had the biggest issue with it. We got to be able to hold each other accountable, but be able to communicate while doing it, right? And the way you do that is be honest at all times. Don't, not saying like you be curt, but be honest. Don't sugarcoat things and say, well, maybe we should, say, hey, y'all, we at this place, we adults, we professionals. Let's be professional. Not let's look like, let's not act like. No, let's just be. Let's be professional. And that'll make them think like, yeah, what we doing ain't the most professional of things. This is not something I would want to do if I'm trying to attract clients to me, especially as the host, going into business for themselves. Like, if you really at this nice restaurant and y'all there celebrating, you going into business for yourself, you never know what your potential clientele are that is around you. Read the room. Always read the room. And if you're unable to read the room, then that's where you start to evaluate your own personal, I'm not gonna say your character, because it's already not a character, being able to read the room, but your personal awareness. I'll say that your level of awareness. And whether you are not, this is speaking to anybody, whether you're somebody who likes to stay in the shadows, you still got to have your head on the swivel, meaning you still got to look around, look left, look right as you're crossing across any path that you're coming across, right? Any path is like a potential street. Got to look both ways, right? These are metaphors I'm speaking of. I'm not speaking literally. I'm saying like metaphors. So scan everywhere that you got going on around you and see where you fit into that place. Be like the equalizer, or be, you really got to kind of like, even if you're a chameleon of sorts, like I consider myself a chameleon. If I was any land animal, like any land creature, I think I'd be a chameleon or a tiger, just because I'm able to kind of blend in and fit where I'm going. But some chameleons don't really make enough noise for me, because I'm a talkative chameleon. Because I'm gonna fit in where I'm going, but I'm gonna have something to say. Not everybody's like that. So in the event that you're the opposite and you kind of blended in with everybody else, and from the outside looking in, as you say, it appears as if y'all are all a part of this same group of love and hip hopness, then you got to evaluate whether or not you're going to say something, or whether or not you're going to be that same little mousy person and then complain about it on the backside. Because you said something at the end. It says some of us who were not involved in any of the madness had some choice words for the people who embarrassed us. So you weren't alone in this. Where was your camaraderie? Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm never here to tell anybody what to do, but I am here to tell you what the possibilities that could be done, right? Like, what if you were to say, like, let's recap for those of us who are just joining us. See, that's what I'm talking about. Show them how to move in a room full of vultures. I feel you. See, you got some bars today, JLP Deuce. You got some bars out there today. So let's recap, right? So got a writer who sent in a letter, and they were out celebrating a friend who just started their own business. But, you know, they were dressed really nice at a really nice restaurant. But the conversation went into a debate about the greatest in basketball. And then out of nowhere, they got loud. And the manager ended up asking them to leave because he asked them to calm down. And they got mad at him. And then they ended up getting kicked out. And then they had words for each other. And now they're really not talking. So one of them wrote me a letter and said, hey, this is what's going on. What should I do? So now we recap, right? So, now that we back on the same page. So again, and we talked about like the accountability in the situation. I did not. So what was your accountability in this situation? Because by sitting back and not saying anything, now you're allowing yourself to be on board. I swear, Dak, you crazy. What was your accountability in this? By not saying anything, you automatically took some accountability for it because you're in the group, you're uncomfortable with what's going on, but you didn't say anything about it to anybody. And you later on found out that there were others who were as uncomfortable as you. So the lines of communication, again, as I always say, if you're going to communicate, you must listen to absorb. So find out what it is, like absorb. If people really try to get a point across, find out what they're trying to get across, right? And then say, hey, so I see all y'all are saying this. And you're all right. A way to people stop an argument is tell everybody in the argument that they right. Tell them you're right. You're right because that's how you feel about the situation. And you're right because that's how you feel about the situation. And somewhere in the middle, there's need to be a compromise. And that compromise could have been everybody calming down and quieting down, right? You know? And again, I don't want you to sit there and think that I'm an advocate of being hush at the restaurant. Hell no. Again, you pay money. You paying good money to go out and eat. You're not at a library. You out having dinner. So I'm not telling you to be like, so could you please pass it? No, hell no. No. And it's a celebration? No. I need some passion, some enthusiasm if we celebrating. What's up, Pammy? I need, if that's the case, if we out having a celebration, I need to know we celebrating. I'm not going to sit there and be like, okay, guys, so tonight, I really appreciate. No, hell no. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate y'all. I'm in the man cave and I'm talking loud. So I'm never going to sit here and say that I'm advocate of sitting there being quiet at a dinner table, but I am an advocate of reading the room. Like my partner James said on the Facebook comment said, teach them, show them, not teach them, show them how to move in a room full of vultures. Because the people that are on the outside looking in, or the other guests who are complaining, those are vultures. They looking at you as dead weight, and they trying to pick at you. So I'm about to, as being the person who could diffuse the situation, you got to show them, the people who are in the situation, how to move in a room full of those vultures who trying to pick at them. Make a comment and be like, yes, I feel you, but what if we said it like this? What if you said it like this? Make a joke. So many different ways to kind of diffuse these situations. Everything ain't funny. It's not all about that. And again, I get, and again, I'm not going to play, let's play the, guess what ethnicity they were game. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to, because I know what they were because of all the, I'm not even going to sit there and say I might know. No, I know what y'all were. I know who y'all are. I could have been with y'all, basically, that's what I'm saying. And I know how people look at us. And I'm not trying to put on a show for anybody. Never put on a show for anybody. And that's a good observation, Nicole 56. She said once she was uncomfortable, maybe she could have changed the topic. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Interject. Be like, hey, check it out. Boom, bow. But did y'all see such and such though? And they'd be like, oh, shut up. And they probably would have bounced to that whole different conversation though. Now whether that conversation would have been elevated, ask them if they seen power. Do they think Ghost dead? Ask them anything, give them something way left field, Talk about the flambe, the table side flambe tomahawk shanks that y'all will see and get cut up. Talk about the fire dancer that's walking around the restaurant. Like, there was a lot of time to change that subject, because that's one that can go on. Yep, it was them bears. They was them them dactyls. It was them dactyls, James. The negrodactyls. That's exactly what they were. You stupid, man. You on fire today. I wish I had one of them NBA Jams button. Fire, fire, fire. Because you on fire today, Slim, with the tilted brim again. But exactly, Nicole. Once she was uncomfortable, the conversation, the topic should have been changed up a little bit. And I don't think it ever would have gotten to this situation. So you asking me what would I have done if I were in your shoes? I definitely would have changed the subject. Or either that, or I would have showed them how to move differently. Flight ranking, respect, man. My boy was flight ranking on the 10. Always respect, rude boy. But I definitely would have changed the subject. You know, especially if I'm the one feeling uncomfortable and I'm seeing these eyeballs on me, or or I would have asked the table next to us, what do you think? Since you all in our mix, I would have asked something. What do you think? You think he's right? Think he's right? Think he's right? Then they had to talk to them, and then they better realize, like, they watching us. It's so many different ways. I don't like to say the skin a cat, because that made me sound like I'm a serial killer in training. But it's so many ways to peel a potato, right? So many different ways to cut an onion. Running underwater so your eyes don't burn. Do you want to leave some skin on the backside and chop, 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 chop? Like, so many different ways to do the same thing. But you, as a person who, who feels as if you have a different opinion and you're well enough to voice it to me, again, people, and I thank anybody who takes out their time to send me questions and concerns. But I always let my writers know, like, the same way that you were able to tap in with me, I want you to find that strength and be able to tap in with those people with whom you're questioning after we have this chat. After we have these conversations, I want you to feel comfortable in finding that person, that strength inside of you to be able to address people as well. That's the whole purpose of us doing. The purpose of me doing this, right? I don't do this just to hear myself talk. I'm a functioning schizophrenic. In my mind, I can talk to myself all day if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not for me to hear myself talk. And as my wife, I don't shut up enough. But it's really to be a help of some sort if I can. That's all I really want to do, is be able to help if I can, because you entrusted me enough to ask for my help, or for my assistance, or for my words of guidance, or for just my take or opinion on it. Because that's all I'm really doing, is giving it my own opinion. And people are chiming in with theirs, and I'm reading them out and repeating what they're saying. Right, exactly. We need to discuss the next steps in supporting our community. Well, send me a letter about it, Flight Ranking. Holla at the homie at gmail.com. You know how we do. Or just send me a inbox. Inbox me some questions you got about some stuff you would like to ask us about how we can start supporting our community. And we can do that. I'm always open for that, Flight Ranking. Thank you for posting that question for me. I do appreciate that. Always send me a DM, and I'll do it next week. I got people on here that's waiting to discuss some other stuff. This is whether people driving home or whether they sitting at their desk and killing time, or whatever they doing, whatever y'all doing while y'all sitting out there listening, watching me. Again, I thank you, because I'm posted up in the man cave right now with my foot in the walking boot, still, doing my pimp walk. But in a week or so, I'm back in the studio. And again, I'm thanking y'all for wherever y'all at while doing it. So send me any DMs that y'all may have questions about. I'm open to that. I check them. I check them the same day, because, I'm really not a social media light. But again, I'm trying to get into it. Stop being an old man. And, my salt and pepper telling on me. But send me DMs. The drive at 5. Yes, Jay. Man, listen. Man, I'm wearing a Black Excellence shirt next week just because you on fire today. I need you. I need some more stuff, though. Hit me up. We talk. I got some money. hit me up, James. But, send me another shirt. Get me together. And I'm wearing something from your stuff next week just because you're on fire this week. So be ready to be on fire next week, too. The Drive at 5. He said he listens to it like the Drive at 5. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man. Again, you, Dak, Al, Flight Rankin, Nicole, Pam, all y'all that always chime in, Click Shell, And that's what I'm saying. James said he listen every week on his way home for real. That's real. Like if you stuck in traffic somewhere, why not sit here and chop it up with me? Type some stuff in, write some stuff in, talk some stuff in, call in. I could have gave y'all my my phone number to call in this week, but you know what? You can still call 702-551-5261, and my engineer is in studio. She'll link you right in with the call if you got something to say. 702-551-5261. And that'll get you right into hot7025fm.com studios to get your questions asked and answered live right here. I think next week we're going to talk about how we support the community. But this week, we talking about what you would do if you out with a group of people and they start embarrassing you. See, I don't really get embarrassed, right? Because I feel like I got the skin of a crocodile. It's super thick. I don't really get in my feeling. People hit, I've been getting joked on my whole life. So I had to learn how to joke back with people. So that's why I developed a little thickness in my skin. But then also, like, I know everything not going to go my way. And I know everybody doesn't see everything the way I see it because the way I see it changes. So it's no way that you can see it exactly like me. So I got to have a thick enough skin to be like, if you don't see it exactly my way, I got to be open enough to try to get some of your view. And some of this view is, people didn't appreciate the volume that this group was at while in the restaurant, right? And I get it. I'm in restaurants all the time. I love to dine out. I work in them. I'm there all the time, right? In restaurants, in every capacity. And you get different groups that take different volume levels. And they'll say something to certain groups and not to others. I get that. A lot of times to my melanated groups, yeah, if our volume goes up, they're gonna ask us to quiet down. But yet the palms can be, cussing and taking Jaeger bomb shots and everything. They won't say nothing. And I get it. So I'm not asking any of y'all to calm anything down, but I'm just asking you to read the room and learn how to move in a room full of vultures. Don't take it as a knock on the culture. Learn how to move in a room full of vultures. Suckers. So again, I'm not asking anybody to put on, shoe covers while you stomping in the mud. I'm not asking you to do that. All I'm asking you to do is just be able to see where you are and max out who you are everywhere that you are. I want you to be the best, whatever you got, everywhere you are. So you want to, the top, what's going on, Danica Carpenter? How baby Apollonia doing? She's so sweet. But you want to know the topic. So again, to recap, for those who weren't here at the beginning of the show, the topic today is, how would you respond to being out at a nice restaurant with a group of people and some people in the group start embarrassing you? How would you respond? Like today's writer talked about how they were out at a nice celebration dinner and they started debating about who's the greatest in basketball. And out of nowhere, the manager asked them to calm down and they went in on the manager talking about, why you asking us and nobody else we pay money to? Then they got asked to leave. So then some of the people in the group, they had words with each other and they haven't really talked. So they want to know if what they did was wrong by saying something after the fact, or should they have not said anything at all? That's the topic for today, right? But again, I say something could have been said in the middle before this even escalated into what it became. This didn't have to become all that it was. I see restaurants of every capacity, from white tablecloth to plastic tablecloths, and you still act with accordingly to make you don't want your meal to be disturbed by anybody else. So you want to make sure you're not disturbing anybody else's meal either. And not saying, again, you got to be librarian, because what's disturbance to them may not be the same to you. But if you're making anybody feel uncomfortable, read the room. Read the room. Yeah, they did. The manager asked them to calm down before they got put out. And that's when they went in on the manager, like, why you asking us to calm down? We paid our money just as much as y'all did, everybody else in here did. Why we gotta calm down? We want to enjoy ourselves the way we want to. And then that led to them being eventually asked to leave. So that's how it escalated. Most likely some of our cousins, and got that, look from the rest of the restaurant and was like, well, I don't give a damn about that look. Why you asking me to get out? Ask them to get out. If they're not comfortable, ask them to leave. I'm still got money to spend. That's I get that too. They said the restaurant was a fire ass restaurant. Like, they had table side shavings of not T-bones, tomahawks. Said they had a fire dancer, belly dancer around there, and a person playing the guitar around there. So it was a fancy restaurant. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. No, it doesn't sound like it wasn't a fancy restaurant. But at the same time, it don't matter. They're paying money too. But at the same time, read the room. Read the room. Like, all you gotta do. A lot of us be like, how would is this how you would act in the church sanctuary? Ask them. Would the pastor agree or whatever? Fine. If you with these people, y'all went out to celebrate. You got to know something about them, so their soft spots, right? If you know somebody's soft spots, there are places where they will show some sort of, emotion, some sort of consideration, some sort of deference. And exactly, they were there to celebrate. So, it's a positive, it's an exciting situation. So the passion is going to be elevated from the jump, right? So it's going to be exciting, from the start. So you already got to know, because you as the writer, you said that you already tried to eliminate any other type of situations when it came to the bill. So you said you would put it on your card. You're going to have them cash app you or what have you. So you already knew that there was a possibility some foolishness was going to go on. So you know the people you going with. So that's another thing. Don't come crying wolf when you with the pack. You normally with the pack. You just weren't in this conversation. It seems like. and they might, and y'all probably weren't the only ones of us in the restaurant, but it was probably and I can almost bet a dime to a dollar that it was probably another table full of us who either turned the other cheek and didn't say nothing, or who were the ones who complained. That's what I would like to know. Who complained? I want to know what table it was, because I doubt y'all were the only one. Because because we coming up in the world. We be out eating. We be out eating. Yeah, you like that one, don't you, Joe? That's a new one. That's the 360 original. Don't cry wolf if you running with the pack, baby. That's all I got to say. I get my preacher voice going on up here. I pass the collection plate. $360 the poet. That's how you cash at me, baby. Tyson Cole, what'd he say? Yeah, might owe the food, but I got the drinks. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. All right, you gonna buy the round? You gonna buy the round? I'm talking about that. You know what I mean? So, and Flight Ranking say you're gonna tell people don't go out with groups of church people. And that's the thing. You got to know what group you with, because you already tried to diffuse the situation from the jump. So again, going back to your question to me, were y'all wrong for how y'all handled the situation? I wouldn't say y'all were wrong, because y'all did speak up and say something, but I think there could have been a step that y'all could have taken prior to y'all even getting thrown out the restaurant. Because again, I applaud you for saying that you're gonna put everything on your card, and again, I still think you want the points. Exactly, James. If you with them W's, you already know it's gonna be some loudness going on. It's gonna be some loudness going on if we with them W's. You know what I mean? But again, y'all. So if you were with a group of people and you know exactly how they rocking and rolling, then you know what you're getting yourself into. So you weren't wrong for how you handled the situation, but I think you could have expedited the diffusing of it by simply just saying like, hey, y'all, let's, or talk to people who you can get on the inside, who you can get in a rib with, talk to those folks. And I think the situation would have been, done a whole lot better. So again, communicate with absorbing being your reason for talking and listening. Be able to stand up and get inside the people's soft spots, who you know you can get inside their soft spots. And again, read the room, know the group you're with, and read the rooms you're in. And that'll kind of cut down on some of these situations occurring again. But that kind of brings us to a close today, y'all. Again, I want to thank everybody who chimed in with me today. Tyson Coleman, the nigga Carpenter, James Lewis Pitts Jr., Slim with the to the brim again, Kari Kofi, Flight Rankin, my boy M. Chad, Nicole, my neighbor, Pam, who always chime in with me. I want to thank all of y'all who take the time out to either write these letters, people who are taking the time out to chime in, tune in, tapping in with me at hollathehomie@gmail.com, sending me letters. All the people who are on my Instagram and my Facebook Live. Again, I cannot thank y'all enough because we getting the buzz going, and this thing gonna take off. Again, big thanks to Shop Blinged Out for another one of my fire-ass shirts to go along with my fire-ass Laker hat. I ain't gonna tell you where I got it from because they're not sponsoring me yet, but I do got a membership with them, and I get 20% off every time. But again, thank y'all who took the time to come out to say what's up and holla at the homie. But until next time, HOLLA ATTHA HOMIE in a minute.